Well, here we are. Episode 11, Season 4. That's right. Next month, it'll be our last episode as we close out our 4th season of the Denver Homes Market Report. So with that, I'm looking forward to our grand finale next month and then kicking things into high gear as the Denver Homes Market Report goes into our Season 5. This is Ricky.schoonover of 8Z Real Estate, your local Denver realtor and host of this show. Hey, stay tuned. Season 5 is going to come with some really, and I mean really big news. I've been working on a new partnership, which I'm incredibly excited to share with you. However, the launch of this partnership will likely coincide right around the time that we kick off Season 5. So I promise you, mark your calendars for May 2nd. As you know, this show comes out the first Thursday of each month, so May 2nd will be our launch date for Season 5 with a big announcement to follow. All right, so let's recap from last month, or maybe expand a little bit. On last month, we were talking about real estate commissions in episode 10. So let's first talk about the document that you would have signed as a seller here in the Denver metro area and really throughout Colorado. This is what's called a CREC approved form. And CREC, it's C-R-E-C, that stands for the Colorado Real Estate Commission. This is the body who works closely with attorneys to draw up the forms that we use in real estate transactions. You know, realtors, we are not attorneys. We are not licensed to practice real estate law. So the Real Estate Commission works to create forms with attorneys where all the legal verbiage is already in the forms that we use. This way we can just fill in all the details and draw up contracts while not practicing law. When you sell your home and you're utilizing either a realtor or a real estate professional in Colorado, you'll likely use a form which is commonly referred to as a listing agreement. The actual name of this document is called an exclusive right to sell listing contract. And in this contract, it kind of spells out all the duties that a real estate professional is required to perform for you as a seller. And the section I want to draw your attention to today is Section 7. And this is where we discuss the commissions. The listing brokers will charge you for handling all aspects of the sale of your home, representing you and your home. And in this first line, it's the total commission. This number is negotiable. I mean, I have listings where my brokerage is charged 7%. I have listings where we've charged 6%, even 5.5%. This is based on many factors. How strong the market is, how much of a marketing budget I'll need, professional photography, perhaps staging, print media, social media, the time it takes to do open houses, all sorts of variables, which really add up the longer the home is on the market. And then there's other fixed expenses as, annual dues, licensing fees, required education courses, insurance. For our insurance, we have a higher than average car insurance because a lot of times we have clients in our cars. And then we also have what's called an E&O insurance, which is required by the state. And then there's office fees, etc. So when I'm taking on a listing, there are many factors that go into that decision-making process. Now let's talk about the co-op or cooperation. So on the same line, it kind of goes into details about where that above commission will be co-opted or shared with the brokerage that represents the buyer. This could be my own brokerage or it could be another brokerage. In most cases, the brokerage who lists the home for sale, they also do not have the buyer. I mean, it does happen, but think of it. Even with a brokerage such as 8Z, we have almost 200 agents, but we're spread out over multiple offices. There are over 8,000 realtors just here in the Denver metro area. So if you're selling your home with me, the chances that, one of my less than 200 colleagues or myself are going to be the ones that find that needle in the haystack buyer to buy your home, it's very slim. There's just a far greater chance that one of the other 8,000 realtors are going to bring your ideal candidate, which is your highest and your best offer. That's just the math. So let's dive into this co-op. Let's say I'm selling your home and we agree my brokerage is charging 6%. Now that 6% doesn't go to me as the agent. That 6% is paid by you being the seller, to my brokerage. Then my brokerage has that co-op or cooperation split, which will then go to the brokerage that represents the buyers. In most cases here in Denver, you're going to see 2.8%. However, it's negotiable. It can be anywhere from 0% to whatever number you as a seller decide. I mean, you're the seller. You have control over how much of that 6% will go to the buyer. This is not decided after you meet the buyer and decide if you like them or not, or if your transaction goes smooth or not. That's just not how it works. When you're signing your listing agreement, that percentage is plugged into your listing agreement before you sign it. So it's agreed to upfront, it's transparent, before your home ever even goes to market. After that co-op is paid, what is left, then I get what is called a commission split from whatever's left from that after that co-op is paid. And that's how your realtor gets paid. Now, obviously, you're selling your home. You want to maximize your bottom line. I've never met a seller who says to me, you know what, Ricky? I spent my life savings when I bought this home. Then I put about $100,000 of renovations in over the past, 5 years or so. And now that I'm selling it, I don't care if I get full market value or not. I'll let this home go for whatever. I don't even care that if I lose money while all my other neighbors have, sold recently and they've made money. I'm going to let this home go to the first person who comes along with a few bucks in their pocket. That's just not how it works, not for any of us. We took the risk. We bought the home. We spent the blood, the sweat, the tears, not to mention time and money fixing it up. Darn it, we want full market value. Heck, sometimes I go on a listing appointment and the sellers even want more than full market value if I was, able to find someone willing to pay that. Bottom line, we want to squeeze every ounce of profit out of this home. Now, this is not being greedy. This is just, people have other things they're going to be doing, whether they're buying another home, sending a child through college, retirement, whatever it is. So this is just the reality for the vast majority of sellers, myself included. So if you want to sell your home for as much as you possibly can, you're going to want to keep that in mind. You want your listing to be competitive. Then I went on this little tangent here, and I was starting to write this big old long drawn out thing here explaining buyer pools. But rather than go into all these crazy details, here's the bottom line. If there's not a co-op for the buyer's representation, you're actually hurting yourself as the seller, because there's going to be a significant number of buyers who were already struggling to come up with the down payment and the closing costs. And now if your home doesn't have a competitive co-op, now they're having to come up with an additional, in this case, 2.8% to buy your home. They simply do not have the means. Let's just say, for an example, on a home for $500,000 sales price, 2.8%, that's $14,000. Now, I'm not sure about you, but when I bought my first house, it took pretty much every dime I had just for the down payment and the closing costs. I did not have another $14,000 laying around, so I would not have been able to buy my house. That seller would have then lost their strongest buyer, which means they likely would have lost money by not getting full market value. Now, if the 2.8% is already agreed to upfront, it's just wrapped up into the deal, so your buyer or your buyers are not having to pay that at closing. The reality is, if you're offering a competitive co-op, the pool of qualified buyers is larger. The larger the pool, the more competition trying to buy your home. The more competition will likely result in your home selling for more money. If you are shrinking your buyer pool, that means being less competitive. That means you have less competition for your home with less of a chance at full market value. This may even result in your home sitting on the market longer just because there's not as many buyers that are able to buy it, or it may result in you not getting an offer at all. That's just the math. Bottom line is, the homes which are listed competitively with other homes in the area, they will sell faster and for more money. They have a better chance at receiving multiple offers. Homes that sell faster will also often sell for a higher price. There is a science behind this. This is not magic. It's not complicated. It's just simply due to the fact that if your home is listed competitively, you're going to maximize your buyer pool, increasing the competition for your home. I once, went to meet with my clients who were selling their condo. They were moving back to Texas to be closer to family. Let's just call them Shelly and Mickey. When I first met Shelly and Mickey, they were first-time home buyers. I helped them buy this particular condo. So when the time came to sell it, they called me for some advice on selling it. They told me, they said, Ricky, we've been thinking about trying to sell this home on our own. So then when I went to meet with them, I explained to them buyer pools. I said, you can sell this home yourself. However, The larger pool of buyers you can expose your home will result in a better chance at finding not just any buyer, but the right buyer. The buyer who is willing and has the means and the desire to offer your highest and best offer. And then I went on to explain to him like this. I said, visualize a kiddie pool. How many potential qualified buyers are in that kiddie pool? You know, the one that you see, the little plastic ones in front of Target or in front of Walmart. This is your friends. This is your church. This is your sphere. This is your coworkers. Now, visualize a standard household swimming pool, the one you'd see like in a typical backyard. How many buyers are in that pool? This is maybe you running ads online or social media, maybe Zillow ad. Will your home likely sell from this pool? And I said, of course, there's a very good chance that you're going to sell your home. I said, however, before you go that route, let's do this one more time. Let's visualize an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Now, how many potential qualified buyers are in this Olympic-sized pool? We are talking MLS listing, where over 80% of the homes are sold. We are talking full service from me with contracts. We are talking with me by your side, with millions upon millions of dollars worth of real estate and experience. I've seen the pitfalls. I can help ensure once your deal goes to contract, it actually closes. We are talking professional photography, full marketing suite, social media blasts, print media, open houses. I said, think of this. Open house signs, you've got to put them all over the neighborhood to get people to get to your open house. Those cost, a set of those costs $600 to $800. And then you got to run ads for the open houses as well. So there's hundreds of dollars there, each open house. I said, here's the deal. If you go that route and you do it on your own, trust me, you have a nice condo. It's in a desirable area. You are likely going to sell this on your own. However, you will never know what could have been, how much you possibly could have made if you would have gone the professional route and exposed your home to all those buyers in that Olympic-sized pool rather than settling for that household pool of buyers. Now, they of course listed with me that very night. We found an amazing buyer. They made a great profit. The transaction was pretty smooth sailing. They were very happy. They took my advice. In fact, I still see them on social media here and there. I know they're in Texas. I know they're now married. They at least bought one other house there in Texas. They seem happy, and I'm very happy for them. Now get this. During the process of me selling their home, I was cleaning up from an open house, walked downstairs, and I met, we're going to call her Patty. I met Patty playing with her dog Maddie, outside the condo. A few weeks later, Patty called me and she says, Ricky, I was talking to you in the courtyard with my dog Maddie, and I was telling you I was going to think about selling my condo at the end of the year. She goes, I think I want to move those plans up. So I met with Patty. I ended up selling Patty's condo in that same complex, and then I helped her buy a home. And she's very dear clients of mine. Still keep in contact with her. And Patty has now introduced me to her friends, and I'm now working with them to help them buy their next home as well. So if you're thinking how to maximize your chances at maximizing your profit, it is not by shrinking your buyer pool and throwing your most qualified and most motivated buyers out of the pool. You want to attract the most buyers possible. So the question is not, how much money can I save while I'm selling my home? That is scarcity. And scarcity will almost always be lost to abundance. So flip the script and ask, how can I be the most competitive? How can I increase my buyer pool? How can I maximize my exposure and attract the highest and best offer? That will help ensure you are getting full market value for your home. And with that, we will close out today's podcast. You have been listening to the Denver Homes Market Report. This is your host and local Denver realtor, Ricky Schoonover of 8Z Real Estate. If you're thinking of buying or selling your home, give me a call. Let's discuss your particular situation and see what value I can bring to the table. 720-688-5110 or jump on my website, www.denverhomes.com. denverhomesmarket.com. I hope you'll tune in next month for our very last show of Season 4